22 months in prison, $200 million stolen, and today, he's getting paid to teach you how to sell. This is Jordan Belfort, the man who didn't just break the law, he monetized the crime. And here's the twisted part, we made him richer the second time around. Queens, New York, 1978. Most 16-year-olds are worrying about prom dates and driver's licenses. Jordan Belfort, he's running a business. 2 Italian ices for the price of 1, but you gotta tell your friends. By the end of summer, he cleared $20,000. Not bad for a teenager with a cooler and a dream. But here's where it gets weird. He took that money and enrolled in dental school. Yeah, dentistry. First day of orientation, the dean walks to the podium and says the golden age of dentistry is over. If you're here for the money, leave now. Jordan stood up, grabbed his bag, and walked straight out the door. Because he didn't want to be comfortable. He wanted to be filthy rich. Fast forward, college is over. Jordan's got a new idea. Door-to-door meat sales. Yes, meat. Picture this, a 22-year-old in a cheap suit knocking on suburban doors trying to convince housewives that flash frozen ribeyes are the future. USDA Prime, cheaper than your butcher, delivered to your door. And it worked, for a while. $100,000 a month in sales. No warehouse, no trucks, just Jordan, a cooler, and a Rolodex full of hungry customers. But here's the thing about selling meat out of your car in the summer. It melts. Orders piled up, deliveries were late, invoices went unpaid. The whole operation collapsed in less than a year. Most people would have called it quits. Jordan, he had an epiphany. The product doesn't matter. I can sell anything. And that realization, that's what made him dangerous. Jordan lands a job at LF Rothschild, a real Wall Street firm. Suits, glass offices, cocaine in the bathrooms. It was the 80s. He learned how the game worked, how brokers talked, how they manipulated, how they closed. But then came Black Monday, October 19th, 1987. The market crashed. Brokers panicked. Jordan got fired. While everyone else was licking their wounds, Jordan was hunting. He found penny stocks, garbage companies no legitimate broker would touch, pink sheet nightmares trading for under $1. But here's the kicker, 50% commission. Same pitch, 10 times the payout. Jordan picked up the phone. Mr. Thompson, listen closely. This company is about to explode. We're talking pre-IPO, ground floor. The big institutions haven't caught on yet, but when they do, you'll retire early. I'm locking in 5,000 shares for you. Sound good? $4,000, one phone call. No regulation, no oversight. Jordan had found his weapon, and he was about to build an army. Jordan Belfort wasn't just making calls anymore. He was building something bigger. Enter Danny Porish, a Long Island hustler with a sharp tongue and zero morals. They met, they clicked, and together they launched Stratton Oakmont. The name sounded prestigious, old money, legacy. Truth, it was a strip mall office with folding tables and zero ethics. Jordan didn't hire finance guys. He hired animals, bartenders, gym rats, college dropouts, people who were hungry, broke, and desperate. He didn't want smart, he wanted savage. Then came the training. Jordan invented something called straight-line persuasion, a psychological manipulation tactic designed to bulldoze hesitation and crush doubt. He taught them to corner prospects, create urgency, and never let them think. The office became a war zone, phones ringing nonstop, brokers screaming, orders flying, and the money, it poured in like a flood. But here's the dirty secret. They weren't selling investments, they were selling fantasies. Stratton's strategy was simple and evil. Step 1, buy millions of shares in a worthless company for pennies. Step 2, call thousands of everyday people, teachers, retirees, veterans, and lie. Tell them it's the next Microsoft, the next Apple. Create hype, manufacture urgency. Step 3, watch the stock price explode. Step 4, sell everything, walk away rich. Step 5, let the stock crash, leave everyone else broke. It's called a pump and dump. At Stratton Oakmont, it was called Tuesday. By the mid-90s, the firm was a circus. Strippers in conference rooms, cocaine on desks, champagne showers, air horns, humiliation rituals for underperformers, Jordan throwing Rolex watches across the room like confetti. He wasn't a CEO, he was a cult leader in a $5,000 suit. But empires built on lies don't stand forever. By 1994, the cracks were showing. The SEC was watching. Complaints were stacking up. Investors were asking questions. Inside Stratton, things got darker. Drugs weren't optional anymore. They were survival. Quaaludes, cocaine. Brokers passed out mid-call. One guy had a seizure on the floor. Nobody stopped dialing. And Jordan, he was spiraling. He crashed his Ferrari, high on ludes, with his 3-year-old daughter in the car. Then came the yacht, June 1996. Against all warnings, Jordan insisted on sailing through a storm in the Mediterranean. The yacht started sinking. Italian Navy had to rescue them. The boat was destroyed. But Jordan walked away. Again. Back in New York, the FBI was closing in. Agent Gregory Coleman had been watching, listening, recording. Former employees flipped, wore wires, handed over files. October 1996, federal agents raided Stratton Oakmont. It was over. Jordan was facing 30 years, so he did what he does best. He sold. He flipped on everyone, his partners, his friends, his employees. Over 30 people indicted. Some served more time than he did. Jordan, he got 22 months, minimum security, tennis courts, no guards with guns. And while he was there, he met Tommy Chong. Yeah, that Tommy Chong. Tommy told him, write it all down. So Jordan did. He published The Wolf of Wall Street. Not a confession, a celebration. Martin Scorsese made it a movie. Leonardo DiCaprio played him. Audiences cheered. The man who destroyed lives became a hero. The court ordered him to pay $110 million in restitution. To this day, most of it hasn't been paid. But Jordan, he's doing great. Motivational speaker, sales coach, podcast guest. He charges six figures to teach people ethics and success. He turned 22 months into a franchise. The victims, still waiting. Jordan Belfort didn't just escape justice, he sold it. He turned fraud into fame, crime into content. And we didn't just forgive him, we paid him to do it again. Maybe that's the real scam. Not the stocks, not the lies. It's that deep down, we never wanted him punished. We wanted to be him.